Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Simon, and today I just want to go through how we're getting $7 per sales call with the Instagram follower funnel that we're doing for our client Colton. We literally launched ads for him yesterday, and we already have a call lined up. Alright, as you can see here, this is the amount spent at the time of recording this video. And here's screenshots proof of somebody in his DMs literally wanting to book, right? So it's not like we launched at $100 a day and I'm BSing you guys. So what I want to do is I just want to break down the process exactly on what we did to make this happen. And the process is actually very, very simple. All right, and that's also what makes it work. So what did we actually do? You guys know that before we launch ads for any of our clients, we always make sure that the middle of the funnel is completely dialed in, because that's where 80 to 90% of the process success actually comes from. The only thing the ad is actually responsible for is bringing in the people who are into what you're doing, they want to buy from you, and are actually the perfect fits for what you're offering. Whereas all of the selling actually goes on behind the ad itself, right? And I 100% believe that if we didn't have his Instagram profile set up the way that we have it set up now, we wouldn't be getting these kind of results, right? The ad is only a very small part of the equation, as I said. The magic is what happens behind the ad after people click and after they're redirected to your Instagram profile. So the better the content on your profile is positioned, the better this funnel will work. So the first thing we did with Colton is we had a massive call going over his entire messaging and his sales angle before we even scripted the ad. Before we launched any content, before we scripted out the VSL, the first thing we did is we had a call going over his entire messaging, his entire sales angle, so we then knew how to position all those other sales assets to get the best results. And the main questions we asked were, one, who are my top 20% of clients that get 80% of the results? And what we realized is Colton's a fitness coach, right? And what we realized is that he was working with skinny guys trying to bulk up. However, he also had a few people on who were trying to lose weight. But his best case studies and his journey too was going from skinny to jacked. So we saw that those were the best results he had. That's what his story was, and that's what we decided to double down on, right? Instead of just offering weight loss, now he's the guy who helps skinny guys get jacked, and that further niches him down and differentiates him from the market. And then we optimized his entire sales process for that 20% of people, right? Because the goal is to bring in more perfect fits. Because when you do that, you get better client results, and you have better word of mouth, because now everybody is getting results because they're the perfect fits, and you can now charge more, and you can spend more on marketing because you have a better product. Plus, service delivery stops being a pain in the ass. And the second very important question that we asked was, what beliefs must my prospects have in order to buy my product? So we looked at Cole Gordon's 7 beliefs a prospect must have before buying. And if you don't know who Cole Gordon is, he runs a company that places trained sales reps and closers into companies. He has a bunch of free training on YouTube. I recommend checking his channel out if you're into business and sales. But anyway, we looked at those. Those 7 beliefs are pain, doubt, cost, desire, money, support, trust. And the theory is that if you align all 7 on the sales call, you get a 100% close rate. So what we decided to do was, instead of waiting for the sales call to align these, we just align all these beliefs in the content itself, right? So we asked, what are the pains of my ideal clients? What are the desires of my ideal clients? How can I make my prospects doubt that they can solve the problem themselves, which is doubt? And then how can I show them that the cost of inaction is greater than the cost of action, which is cost, right? And we did that with every single belief. And then what we did is we made content that shifted these beliefs to align them with the beliefs that we need these prospects to have in order for them to buy Colton's product. I'll probably make a whole separate video on these because we'd be here all day. But if you're not using this framework yet in your content, then trust me, bro, you're missing out. And the final thing we did with the content is we made sure that he was positioned as simpler, superior, and unique to the rest of the marketplace. And the way we did this is by throwing stones at the mechanisms his competitors are using, right? And this is hugely important because if you're just saying how good your method is all the time, you got to have something that your method is actually better than. And you got to make your audience realize that, oh shit, like this method is better than what I've tried in the past. And this is why you won't fail. So since he's a fitness coach, we literally asked him, what way of getting results do you not like? And what didn't work for your clients in the past? And then why is that? Then you literally tear down why that method doesn't work in your content. You shift beliefs. And then you show how your method is better while backing it up with social proof. So I'm going to show you guys an example because this is really difficult to explain without an example. But one of the things that we threw stones at was optimal training, because Colton said he doesn't like that, right? So we asked him, why doesn't it work? And he said that it's because it's too complicated and you're going to get overwhelmed, right? And his process is a whole lot, where is it? Simpler, right? So that's already positioning him as simpler, right? Because you're showing that the reason you failed in the past is because you were trying to train it very optimally. You were looking at all the research, at the optimal ways to perform all the exercises. Whereas if you just went into the gym got the basics down and just had fun, you'd get drastically better results, right? And that's why it's superior. That's why it's unique, because it's different to what its competitors doing. And that's also why it's simpler, because you're not going to get overwhelmed, right? And the people that resonate with that message will now like Colton a lot, right? Because they feel understood. And the people who don't just aren't good fits for what he's selling anyway. So we have nothing to lose but everything to gain. And then the last thing that we did before launching the actual ad was we scripted and recorded a killer VSL, right? I see so many people who don't have this, and it's literally why you're broke, right? Everybody and their grandmother is posting short form content. Posting short videos, 30-second videos on Instagram does not make you unique anymore. Since literally everybody is posting short form content, people don't buy off of 30-second videos anymore. We can make you sound unique with your messaging, and that will obviously help. However, something that is crucial is having a longer form video, right? Because what this allows you to do is it allows you to pre-sell your prospects before they hop on the call. It allows them to fully understand the process before they buy. And it also just sells them and makes them more likely to book in the call itself, right? Because, like, I know me personally, I'm not going to buy a high-ticket product if all I've seen are 30-second snippets of somebody briefly explaining how it works, right? Whereas if somebody has a really in-depth video that's breaking beliefs, showing social proof, and is all around a really, really valuable video, that's going to make me way more inclined to hop on a call with that person. And then on the call, I'm already pre-sold because I saw the video, and I'm way more likely to buy the product, right? I'm willing to bet that you've never bought a 5K product purely off the back of a few 30-second videos, unless the person had a really well-established brand, like crazy authority, insane client results, and a really robust sales system. Then you can maybe get away with it, right? But it's still not the most optimal way to go about stuff. And if you don't have at least one of these VSLs, then you're literally leaving money on the table. Now, research says that people need to consume roughly 7 hours of your content to become your hottest lead. And how are you planning to do that with short form content alone? Like, you literally can't. If your videos are 30 seconds long, that would literally take like 840 videos. Let me actually check. Calculator. All right, so we have 60 minutes times 7. That's 7 hours, and then if we divide that by 840, we get a 30-second video, a half a minute long video. And you're still not going to be able to go as deep as you would in a 30, 20, even 10-minute long video. So what we do with all of our clients is we script out a killer VSL for them, right? Which is a 10 to 30-minute video, depending on how deep you want to go, breaking down your entire process, your mechanism, and showing social proof, right? So your client results. And this one video is going to make people trust you way more than 100, I would even say 500 pieces of short form would. And then what we did is we dropped that video in his bio, just posted it on YouTube, put the link in his bio. What we're doing now is we're also building an opt-in page to start collecting data for it, right? Because when you collect data, we can email these people, we can text these people, we can call these people, we can do anything we want, right? And we know that once they watch the video, all they're going to need is maybe a text or maybe a call to book in a meeting with Colton, right? Because of how good the freaking video is, right? All they're going to need is just a little reminder. They're going to be pre-sold. And also, instead of immediately pitching the call in your DMs and losing the sale, right? Because you haven't built any sort of connection with these people, we can now redirect all of his DMs to that video, right? And that's what we actually did with this person right here. So what we did is, well, here, I'll give you some free value so you don't have to shop for information. Sent over the link, watch this. It'll help you get a better sense of what I'm about. And then we push the call, right? What we're doing with Colton, I'm not sure if I have this written down. We're not letting anyone who hasn't watched the VSL on a call with him, because it's just a waste of time, right? If somebody hasn't watched the VSL, how can they even know that they are the right fit for this program? And we don't want to take on the wrong fits. All we want is the perfect fits coming to Colton and buying his shit, right? Because when that happens, you get better client results, which is just a self-reinforcing feedback loop. You have better word of mouth. And when every single client that you take on is getting killer results, then automatically your product becomes more valuable, because the perceived likelihood of achievement goes up, the scarcity goes up, and you can start charging more for it. And when you start charging more for it, you can spend more on marketing and you can outspend all of your competitors because you have a better product, right? And just sending that VSL in the DMs is going to make him trust us more, trust the process more, be more likely to actually have a call with us because they see the value we can provide. And we've shown that we actually care about them, right? We're not just trying to sell them, we're actually giving them value and actionable advice that they can implement straight away, right? Before, spending any money with us to see results. Your overall close rate is going to be higher. Your overall close rate is going to be higher because now the prospects are going to be pre-sold before the call, and they're going to know exactly what you do, how you do it, and why it works. And examples of when it's worked in the past, because in this video, we're going to be dropping all the case studies he has, right, as social proof. A confused mind doesn't buy, okay? If a prospect gets on a call with you and they ask, what do? You know that you're doing something wrong. Okay, now that that's out of the way, the next thing we did is we launched the actual ad. And obviously, this was a follower ad because what else would you be running right now? But remember the 7 beliefs that I talked about and then throwing stones at your competitors? we're not just going to forget about those, right? We're actually going to be using the exact same principles in the ad itself. And then this is important, we're going to be backing it up with all of the social proof we have. That is literally the framework, okay? It's a market call out. Then we usually get into desire, because if you go into pain too quickly, people will click off because they'll be like, oh yeah, like this is an ad, he's trying to sell me. I'm going to leave. But when you go into desire, people actually want to hear their desires recited back to them, right? And then basically we just hammer proof and we hammer proof and we hammer even more proof and then we CTA. And then what you can even do is you can even here go into something like why it works. Or you can go into more proof and then you can CTA again. And that's literally the formula, right? And it's important that while you're giving proof, you can hit on some of the other beliefs. Okay, so like when you're saying that, here's how my client Matt put on 20 pounds in 10 weeks, you can say that he was able to stop being skinny, right? And that's hitting a pain because they're skinny. Or if you want to go into what else can you go into doubt? You can say that before joining my program, my client Matt was getting very inconsistent results, and he didn't know if he could get to his desired outcome by himself. But then he joined my program and he gained 20 pounds in 10 weeks, right? And if you say that correctly, like that is going to shift the beliefs in the ad, okay? And the more beliefs you shift, the better. While giving proof, you can hit on some of the other beliefs, right? As I said. And as you can see, this is very, very simple. The magic isn't in the ad. The magic is in everything that happens behind the ad, okay? The only thing we have to make sure with the ad is that it's super targeted, which is why we market call out. And then that it breaks beliefs and it shows a lot of social proof. And right now what we're actually doing is we're launching a second ad. We're going to find the winner and we're going to double down on that winner, right? Obviously split testing interest as we go along. All right, so that's basically it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As I said, I'm going to be getting way more active on YouTube over the coming weeks, coming months, and hopefully coming years. Let's see what we can build. And yeah, if you want to learn more about how we do this, and if you have any questions about the process, then you can DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is right here. And yeah, apart from that, I'll see you guys in the next video.